Welcome back to my FireRed badge quest, where I have to find a shiny Pokemon before every single gym battle. Last time, we hunted for a shiny Charmander to fight Brock, and then farmed items with Meowth until we found a shiny Pidgey to battle Misty. And in today's episode, we're going to get our next 2 gym badges as well. After you beat Misty, Kanto becomes very open in regards to what order you tackle the story, and you can fight the remaining gym leaders in basically any order that you like. The only 2 limits are that you can't reach Blame without beating Koga, and Giovanni always comes last. This means there are 60 different unique ways to tackle the gym challenge, but for this quest, I'll be doing it the more or less intended way by facing every gym leader as soon as I can, since that's what I did growing up. You can't go to Celadon without getting the hidden machine for Cut on the SSN, so you might as well battle Surge while you're in Vermilion. You also can't get into Saffron until you get the tea for the guards, and you can't go to Fuchsia without picking up the Sylph Scope, both of which are found in Celadon, so there's no reason not to fight Erica at the same time. And while Koga is generally listed as the 5th gym leader, his team is pretty much the same level as Sabrina, and in my opinion, it's easier to fight her first before going all the way to Fuchsia. And while that's the order I plan to face the gyms in, there is something else that I want to do out of order instead. After getting the HM on my copy of Leaf Green, I'm going to trade a Pokemon with Cut to my copy of Fire Red. There's a cool Easter egg that I want to experience later on in this playthrough, but it requires having the HM for Surf before the SSN leaves the port. The ship will leave after the captain gives you the HM for Cut, so this normally isn't possible without this sequence break, and this will be my first time seeing it in person. If you're at all familiar with Pokemon, then I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, but we'll come back to this in future. While this means we can now access the Vermilion Gym, I still need to get my 3rd shiny before we can do that. Cutting down the tree blocking Route 9 also opens up access to Route 10, the Rock Tunnel, the Pokemon Tower, Route 8, Route 7 and Route 16, giving us plenty more options for new shinies. Travelling through the Rock Tunnel was actually enough to fully evolve Charmeleon into a Charizard, and after a quick stop at the Name Rater to properly nickname my 2 shinies, I'm actually going to head all the way into Celadon for our 3rd hunt. You can't usually find many Pokemon within towns and cities, but Celadon has quite a few interesting options. We could fish for Magikarp using the old rod we got in Vermilion, although that's something we can do anywhere. If we had Surf or the Super Rod, we could hunt for Psyduck, Slowpoke and the very rare 1% Grimer and Coughing, but those aren't available to us yet. Another fun option is resetting for Eevee, and while I definitely want to do this at some point, it's also not the one that I'm here for. Before we can start hunting for our target, we need to do some gambling. Due to the PEGI age rating system becoming stricter on depictions of gambling, the game corner in Pokemon Platinum was completely unplayable here in Europe, and this eventually led to the complete removal of usable slot machines within the series. The Rocket game corner reappeared in Heart Gold and Soul Silver and Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, but in both of those games, the slot machines were either removed or inaccessible, with the Hoenn and Sinnoh game corners also being shut down or repurposed for their own remakes. But re-released games don't need to apply for new age ratings, which means the game corner here is still fully functional. The coins you earn from the slot machines can be traded in for several rare Pokemon at the prize counter, so for this hunt we're going to need a lot of coins to cash in. The coin case holds a maximum of 9,999 coins, which is equivalent to $200,000 if you buy them directly at the exchange counter. That would be a lot of money for this early into the game, but fortunately I have a bag full of gold that I stole from Team Rocket, so 40 nuggets from each game would be enough to max out my coin case. But where's the fun in that? After raking in the jackpots, we can trade in our winnings for several rare Pokemon. Abra, Clefairy, Dratini, Pinsir and Scyther, as well as the exclusive Porygon that can't be found anywhere else. I'm a huge fan of Porygon and its evolutions, but I've actually done this hunt already on the original games, and Porygon is so expensive that you can only ever afford to buy one at a time. You need a completely full coin case in Fire Red to afford it, and even the cheaper one in Leaf Green costs more than half your max capacity, meaning it's also a much slower hunt than some of the other options here. Game Corner Abra might be one of the fastest shiny hunts you can do in this game, but I'm going for Dratini. The only other way to get Dratini is by fishing in the Safari Zone, making it very hard to obtain and even harder to shiny hunt due to its high rarity and low catch rate. So while it might be less ethical, buying one from the Team Rocket Casino is a much easier way to obtain a shiny Dragonite. Oh! Shiny Dratini! Oh, that's super fast. 960 encounters. literally started this hunt today. That is so cool. Let's see what we got. Regular Growlithe. Shiny Dratini. That's awesome. Okay, it's probably going to be quite a lot of work actually getting this leveled up, especially considering how, you know, massively over-leveled Charizard already is. But I've got a decent supply of rare candies from Meowth, so I think I can manage to get it up to speed. Might even be able to get it to Dragonite before we take on the Elite Four, actually. Man, we're making crazy progress with this badge quest. Like, I set this hunt up today, and the first episode just premiered today as well. So I mean, for all I know, I could be done with this second part in like a week. I don't want to make any promises though, because I feel like I'm jinxing myself. I'm gonna go massively over odds on the next one now. But I guess we'll wait and see. It's just a shame we don't have any coins left, because all of the best TMs are here. Like Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, Flamethrower, those would all be pretty good to have on a Dragonite. After a tiny bit more gambling to get the TMs for Ice Beam and Thunderbolt, it's time to go get our third badge. We can make a shortcut through Saffron by getting some tea for the guards, allowing us to head straight back to Vermilion without having to backtrack through the rock tunnel. Aside from getting an early pseudo-legendary, there is a thematic reason why I wanted to hunt for my third target at the game corner, because the puzzle for the Vermilion gym, if you can even call it a puzzle, is basically just gambling. This gym has 15 bins in it, with 2 switches to deactivate the electric gate leading to Surge, and if you don't find the second switch immediately after the first one, the whole thing resets and the switches change locations. Despite how annoying this sounds, this gym puzzle is the one I have the fondest memory of from my first playthrough. After I'd been struggling to find the second switch for what felt like an hour, an adult took interest in the game and asked me what I was doing. I explained the problem to her, and that I needed to find 2 switches to open the gate. At that moment I'd already found the first switch again, but I had no idea where the second one could be. And after looking at it for a moment, she pointed to one of the bins and suggested that I try that one. So I did it, and the gate opened. For years I was left wondering if there was some kind of obvious trick or solution to this puzzle that I was just too stupid to see as a child. But as it turns out, the second switch is just randomly in one of the adjacent bins, and she got really lucky. With Surge surrendering the ThunderBadge to our mighty dragon in training, it's time to pick out our 4th target already. And for this one, I'm going to face my fear in the Pokemon Tower. I have no doubt that this was a common experience, but I was very unnerved by Lavender Town when I was a kid. The second I stepped foot here for the first time, I was instantly creeped out by the music, and the little girl telling you there's a ghost standing behind you certainly didn't help. But still, I decided to be brave and explore the tower. After all, I had my overleveled Charizard with me, so what was there to possibly be scared of? As it turns out, ghosts. Not a ghost-type Pokemon, but an actual, straight-up ghost. This encounter was honestly terrifying, because my big fire-breathing dragon was now completely powerless to do anything, and if this ghost was scaring my Charizard, then clearly it had to be very, very scary. So in that moment, I decided there was only one thing left to do. Run away and never look back. Clearly there was nothing for me in Lavender Town, and I had no reason to ever return here. But now, I have to be a brave boy, because Ghastly has such a good shiny in this generation, and I would really love to catch one. Oh! Shiny Ghastly! Oh, that is great. Under odds too. Okay, this isn't smooth sailing though. There is a chance I could fail this. Because Ghastly knows Curse, which will cut its health in half. And if it does that twice, then obviously it's gonna faint. I kind of want to try and catch all of my targets in regular Pokeballs for uniformity, since we don't have access to luxury balls until post-game. But if this cuts itself down to half health, I might have to start throwing Great Balls. And unfortunately, since I put my Ivysaur into the daycare center, it deleted Sleep Powder without me realizing, so I don't have that as an option either. I kind of just have to chuck Pokeballs and hope for the best. Okay, we can stand being licked. please stay in. So close. Spite, that's fine, yes, just don't curse. We got it. Shiny Ghastly. Yes! Add that to the Pokedex. Sadly, we don't get to see it added as a shiny on the Pokedex page, but that's still pretty cool. And this time I actually know what I'm going to name it. I've gone on record saying this before, but I love Shiny Ghastly. Any shiny that has a kind of bluish colour and a purplish pinkish colour is top tier in my opinion. That is so good. Okay, now what nature is this going to be? Docile. Okay. That's... I think that's a neutral one? Yeah, neutral nature. Huh, so same as Dratini. Interesting. Yeah, look at that. Very high special attack, good speed. And conveniently, the Pokemon Tower has basically just other Ghastlies in it, so I can quite easily EV train this in special attack. As someone who didn't have many friends that actively played Pokemon growing up, Trade Evolutions always felt like an unattainable goal, and it was part of the reason why I never tried to complete the Pokedex. By only having one game, some parts of the dex were always going to be out of reach, and if it wasn't going to be possible to complete it 100%, then I didn't see the point in trying. But now, as a grown and financially responsible adult, I have the means to trade evolve whenever I want, meaning I'm now free to use cool Pokemon like Gengar. These days, Shiny Gengar gets a lot of flack for being too similar to regular Gengar, but that only started around Generation 6. Here in Generation 3, it's a pretty clear difference between purple and dark grey. As a side note, I didn't actually plan this out when choosing these targets, but Gengar and Dragonite do have something in common. Back when they were first introduced, the Ghost and Dragon types were completely unique to these two evolution lines. We take it for granted now there's so many of them, but it must have been so cool to catch one of these Pokemon and see a completely unique type on their summary screen. But when it comes to training our Gengar, it actually isn't that strong as a Ghost type attacker. Despite its high special attack stats, all Ghost moves in Generation 3 are considered to be physical attacks. The only special move it naturally learns by leveling up is Dream Eater, but our Wild Ghastly was one level too high to still know Hypnosis, meaning we can't even use Dream Eater effectively until we reach the Move Reminder, who lives all the way on the Sevi Islands. Fortunately, I might know a place where we can find some powerful special attack TMs. Speaking of types, Gengar's poison typing sadly isn't as strong as it should be against the Grass Gym, since it also doesn't learn any poison type moves by leveling up. Not to mention that a lot of the grass types in Kanto are also part poison, including most of Erika's team. This also puts us at a disadvantage against Sabrina by making Gengar weak to Psychic, but that will be a problem for next time. If you want to catch the rest of this quest, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss it, and likes and comments are always appreciated to help the channel. Until then, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Just as soon as I work out how to get past this Snorlax.
That was brilliant, Candle, for me. Very much enjoyed.